Good afternoon and welcome to Hobbs Lane for this Division 4 clash between Barrow Gurney First 11 and Bedminster Third 11. It's a beautiful day at Hobbs Lane. What a contrast to last week. The sun is shining. There's a bit of cloud cover, but it's a fluffy white cloud. And we're getting ready for this important game between the third and fourth place teams in Division 4. Barrow had a real chance last week at Long Ashton to maybe push into the promotion places, but both these teams are now at least a win and a bit behind Long Ashton, who are in second place. So an important game for both these teams, because whoever wins today will have a chance, maybe a slightly outside chance, of overtaking Long Ashton, depending on their results. The news of the toss, well, Bedminster won the toss and they've elected to bat first, as you might expect, on a beautiful day. Decent looking batting track. Barrow Gurney therefore in the field. The opening batsman are Cheyenne Irfan, who's taking strike, and Ithamul Hack. I do apologise if I pronounced his name wrong there. So Mr. Hack, I think we'll call him for the ease. And Mark Fisher is always going to be the opening bowler from the Rod's viewpoint end. So we'll try and bring you news of the twos game. Barrow second 11 are playing French A fifths today, and they're playing at Collegiate School, formerly Colston Collegiate, of course, which is not French A's normal ground, but they had some problem with that, so the match has been relocated to Collegiate School, which is quite a nice venue. So Mark Fisher's going to start with fairly orthodox field. Irfan looks as if he's a left-hander. This is going to be a slip and a gully. Backward point. A very short extra, like a silly extra. Mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket. Square leg just by the umpire, and a deep fine leg. And here comes Mark Fisher. Oh, is that a wicket first ball? It is. He's caught behind. My word, Barrow Gurney a cock a hoop there. It was a little wide, and Irfan played at that, and is rather disconsolate as he comes off. But what a start from Mark Fisher. My word, what a year he's had with the ball. Really has taken so many wickets this season. And after one ball, it's 0 for 1 here at Hobbs Lane. So that brings Wilfred Brook to the crease. Number 284. Tall chap with a maroon helmet. He's going to be easily enough distinguished from Mr. Hack. Although it's always helpful when people have numbers on their back. Might have to think about that for Barrow Gurney one of these days. Well, Brook is a right-hander, so the field moves round. No significant changes. Except possibly the fine leg is a little finer. Maybe a bit too fine, though the angle we're at rather confuses the eye somewhat. We've got our regular visitors in the dune buggies in the field behind us, if you can hear revving noises. two youngsters doing laps of the field. And here's Mark Fisher again. That's a good start. It's drifting down a leg. There's a bit of a breeze blowing across the ground. The Barrow Gurney flag is blowing quite nicely. Reasonably strong. And quite refreshing, I would imagine, in this heat, warm day. That's well fielded. Brother Guy, always on hand and fielding well off Mark's bowling. Well, you're very welcome to get involved with the commentary today if you're watching at home, and I know some of you do, past players and people who are on holiday. You know how to contact me. You can text me, you can email me. Well, that's a nice shot, flicked away, that's gone through square leg, and Kieran Owen wasn't able to stop that. 4 runs. So Bedminster underway there, 4 for 1. Yes, you can email me on barrowgurneycricket@gmail.com. You can send me a tweet @cricketcleric. Or you can talk to me the old-fashioned way. You can just come up to the ground and say hello. Tried to repeat the dose there, but didn't get anything on that. That's the first over. Gone. 4 for 1, Bedminster. So Barrow Gurney are batting in the second 11 game at Frenchay, which, as I say, is not at Frenchay, it's at Collegiate School. They're 1 for no wicket after 1 over. So we shall keep an eye on that game. Ed Holdaway will be opening the bowling at the Butcombe Village end, and he's bowling to Hack. That's nicely flicked through to square leg, but Kieran Owen makes no mistake this time. So Ed Holdaway was really busy on Wednesday night, played an excellent innings in a midweek game, which finished in almost pitch darkness. He batted magnificently and almost brought Barrow Gurney home to an unlikely win. But here he is with the ball. Johnny Sykes diving forward at silly extra cover, but it was a bump ball. So I'm here in the commentary box today with my producer Josh Hall, who, as usual, immediately commentary starts, he gets the food out. It's lunchtime. Well, we have lunch between innings, Josh. Now, what have you got today?
Mini cheese and onion rolls and mini pizza.
Mini cheese and onion rolls and mini pizza. Well, how the other half live, eh? Well, I shall be abstaining for a little while. And so too will the dogs. We've got our two collie dogs in here with us, Eli and Juno. Juno's eating, but Eli's looking at me hopefully. Now that's been flicked away. There was a sort of half-hearted appeal. It's going to be a leg bye. And that's the end of the over. 5 for 1 off 2. Guess some of you might have been watching the test match this morning. England struggling there, 157 for 5 at lunch. But the magnificent Joe Root, he's still there. 58 not out. Sadly, Harry Brook didn't make many, but that other Yorkshireman, Joe Root, doing well. So Hack now to have a look at Mark Fisher. Nice straight bat, first one. There's a lot of cricket coming up for some of these guys. Some of the Barrow first team are on our cricket tour, which starts on Monday. Going down to Exmouth for 4 days of cricket and merriment, and no doubt we're sampling some of the local beer. And some of these guys are going to be playing 2 or 3 games, I think, in the coming week. That's a nice looking shot. No run. Well covered by Guy Fisher. I wonder if Dad Nick is watching today. He often does when the first team are playing and on Barrow Gurney television. Mark having already taken his 31st wicket in league cricket this season. He's hunting for a few more. He's watching the couple of players below him. I reckon that makes him 2 ahead currently as the highest wicket taker in the whole of the B&D. But he won't want to rest on his laurels. Well, his eyes lit up there and he tried to cut that but didn't time. It just ended up hitting it straight into the ground. We're playing on a fairly central pitch here on the square, for those who know Hobbs Lane. Sometimes it can be quite a short boundary down to the car park. I mean, it is still all downhill, of course, but it's not as short as it can be. That's a nice shot, but he hit short extra quite literally as it just rebounds off Johnny Sykes. And that's another over gone. It's a second maiden on the trot. 5 for 1, Bedminster off 3. After 2 overs at collegiate school, Barrow seconds are 9 for no wicket off, to say 2 overs there. So early days there. Slightly different Barrow team playing today. Some many familiar faces, but Rob Moyes making his first team debut today. left arm medium bowler. I'm not sure how much we'll see of him, but I expect he might get a bowl later on. So, Wilfred Brooke. I wonder if he likes being called Wilf. I don't know. I'm going to call him Wilf. I hope he doesn't mind that. And he's flicked that away nicely through mid-wicket. Rob Moyes is chasing that, but didn't really have much of a chance. It was beautifully timed. Just lent on that really, and ran away up the hill, slight hill. Dribbling. So no run there. Well, that's a nice shot. That's flicked away for 4. That was wide of Rob Moyes. Went between mid-on and mid-wicket. Flicked it away to the picket fence. Ball makes a nice sound when it comes off his bat. No run there. Frank Forge round quickly. Save 1. Well, that's the end of the over by Ed Holdaway. In the context of the game so far, quite an expensive one, but 8 off it. 13 for 1 off 4. So Mark Fisher to continue. Somebody sounding their horn in the car park. Well, he shaped a cut there, but again didn't time it. Straight to point. Kieran Owen there. Cuts that off. He swung round to pull that. I think that just came off the pad. There's the umpire signalling. Well done, sir. Perfect flamingo. So we've got 1 or 2 spectators already here at Hobbs Lane. I see 1 or 2 cars have just arrived, so we might be getting a few more. It's going to be another leg by, I think. Quick work there. Diving work there. Who's that coming in? Oh, it's Connor Jones, the captain. Very quick. So another leg by, added to the total, 15 for 1 now. Just a reminder that this is Barrow Gurney's 150th anniversary season. And we're beginning to look forward now to Bank Holiday Monday at the end of August, when the MCC are coming to play a game here, a timed game, an all-day game starting at 11 on Bank Holiday Monday. We're going to have some specialist pizza firm providing pizza for players and spectators all day. The bar will be open, and we're hoping that many past players and friends and people from Barrow Gurney Village will come along and enjoy the day of celebration with us. Well, going for a quick single, they've picked out Connor Jones, who's very quick, and that's run out. They're afraid they picked the wrong fielder there. Connor's got a reputation of being the best fielder in the club, and that is why he's run out. So, the new batsman is the skipper, Chris McCormack, and my word, what a marvellous, marvellous bit of work. Over. Well, Connor Jones really cementing his reputation for his fielding prowess there. I mean, he swooped in from cover, picked up the ball one-handed, and, well, Brooke, I'm afraid, didn't have an earthly. He was well short. Brilliant work. The Hack is on strike for the moment. The new batsman won't be facing us. Head Holdaway continues. Going for it could be another run out here. Kieran Owen. Oh, the throw was a little bit high. And they get through for a single. So McCormack, the captain, number 20, comes down to face his first ball. 16 for 2. So there's a bit of a situation here which needs repairing. And maybe a captain's innings will be what does it for Bedminster. Nice shot, but no run as Mark Fisher comes round from mid-wicket. So for Holdaway, we've got a slip, who's Josh Yelland. It's an unfamiliar position for him, but Mark Brown, the customary first slip, is away this week. We've got a gully, that's Jason Cryans. We've got a point, that's Kieran Owen. Johnny Sykes at that short extra position. It's short extra rather than silly extra now. He's moved back a little bit. Connor Jones, hands on hip at a wider extra cover. No run there. Guy Fisher at a straightish mid-off. Mark Fisher at wide mid-on. Frank Forge at mid-wicket. And Rob Moyes now finds himself at third man. He's the only man in the deep. Big appeal for LBW. Lots of hands raised. Not much emotion from the umpire. Hands crossed. Yeah, no movement at all. Hands crossed. Almost looks as if he's a bit upset at having been asked. But, some excitement there. But we continue with Ed Holdaway. And that's the end of that over. The 6th, 16 for 2. 6 overs gone also at Collegiate School, where the second 11 are playing French A-fifths. The all-female opening partnership of Bernie Forge and Ellie Holdaway put on 19 so far. Mark Fisher to continue. As always, it will be that difficult decision to make for Connor Jones as to whether to keep Fisher on and maybe bowl him through and try and get another couple of early wickets, or whether to save him and bring him back later on. Quite often he bowls him for 6 and just saves a couple. Well, we'll see what happens today. That's nicely played off his legs, but it's straight to Frank Forge, who's now at square leg. No run. So the new arriving spectators in the car park were Jane Holdaway and her mum, and mum's dog. Come up to spend a nice afternoon in the sun. Jane, who's organising our cricket tour this year, which is a bit of a thankless task, as a lot of mucking around as to who's coming or not coming, and various people changing jobs and things, which meant they couldn't come when they wanted to. But we've just about got it all ready to go. So Monday morning we'll be heading off down to Exmouth. I think we're starting with a crazy golf competition. Well, I'm pretty good at crazy golf. Well, I used to be. So I'll be looking forward to that. Though I might be a bit jaded because I've been playing tennis in the morning before I go. Nicely played. There's Kieran Owen. The ball seems to be following him. Seems to have gone to him about every other time the ball's been hit. But better to keep busy in the field. Poor old Rob Moyes is doing third man to third man. Oh, he went to pull that. That's gone away for 4. I'm not sure it made the bat. Did it? It did. He got something on that. 4 runs. Well, he certainly didn't get all of it, but he got enough. And it ran away to the picket fence. That's the first boundary off Mark Fisher. Oh, that's a nice shot, but I think Fisher may have got a finger on that, and then Jason Cryan's finished up. So 20 for 2 here off 7. Mark Fisher 4 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 8. Barrow 2's now moved on to 27 for no wicket off 7 overs. Ed Holdaway going to continue. The wind and the breeze is beginning to pick up again here. At least we seem to have lost our friends in the Doom buggy. They normally drive around for about an hour, but they only seem to have about 10 minutes. And they're having a break. Maybe they were called in for lunch or something. Still, it's a blissful release, but that's caught. And guess who? It's Connor Jones again. That's been scooped up straight to him at extra cover, and he doesn't make mistakes with deliveries like that. And that's Chris McCormack out without scoring. And Bedminster in a little bit of trouble here at 20 for 3. Well, the new batter's going to be Tim Ozan, number 72, who was probably thinking he had half an hour or 45 minutes to sit with his feet up before he might be called upon to bat. But as a result of some good early bowling and some outstanding fielding from Connor Jones, he's called to the crease much earlier than he would have wished. Marking his guard. Right. So the field isn't set. The batsman stood waving at the fielders, and meanwhile Ed Holdaway tried to run in and bowl a delivery, but he soon thought better of it and returned to his mark. Here he comes again now. I'm just keeping an eye on Connor Jones because of his really obviously being the standout fielder so far. He's now moved to backward point off Ed Holdaway. And Johnny Sykes has moved back a little bit into more sort of orthodox extra cover. Still relatively short. Certainly a few paces back from where he was in the opening 2 or 3 overs. That squirts off an edge. That's Jones again. They're not going to take a one to him. I think Hack, who's been there since the start, I think he is beginning to pick him out and knows who to avoid. End of the over. 20 for 3 off 8. Well, that's the answer to one of my questions. Fisher is going to continue from the rod's viewpoint end. 29 for no wicket off 8 at Frenchay for the twos. There's more diving work from Connor Jones, saving any runs there. You can't keep this man out of the action, can you? May even get a bowl later on if he hasn't exhausted himself with all the fielding. Oh, he was shaped to cut again. That was through him. That was a beautifully hit away for 4. Up the hill. Frank Forge goes out to retrieve. Timed that very nicely. So boundaries have been fairly rare in these opening 9 overs. But Hack's beginning to look a little bit more comfortable at the crease. He's just not timing everything. It's the end of the 9th over. 24 for 3. Is there going to be a bowling change? I'm looking for Ed Holdaway, who's emerging from the deep third man boundary with his floppy hat. Yep, he's given it to the umpire, so he's going to continue for a 5th over. He's got 4 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 9. Mark Fisher, 5 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 12. Ozan on strike. Some waving going on from Ed Holdaway. He wants Connor Jones further behind point. He's definitely a backward point. Still saving 1. And unfortunately a wicket has fallen at Collegiate School. Bernie Forge is out. 16 she made. And the score there is 31 for 1 off 9. Connor Jones is now swinging his arms and doing bowling motions, so I think he'll be into the attack fairly soon. Oh, well bowled. That was right through Ozan. Connor Jones in the action again, so there's no run there. End of the over. 24 for 3 off 10. We're going to get our first bowling change here. Mark Fisher coming off after 5 overs, and we're going to see some spin. We're going to see Frank Forge, some off spin here. So obviously with the arrival of spin, the field is going to look somewhat different. We've got Guy Fisher going out to deep mid-wicket, also known as cow corner. Ed Holdaway stays at mid-on, but right on the ring. Johnny Sykes is coming into mid-off, again on the ring. Kieran Owens at mid-wicket. Connor Jones is going to a backwards square leg, but not on the boundary. He's on the 1. Guy Fisher's been moved round slightly at mid-wicket. He's going to bowl round the wicket to the left-hander. Good start. On the onside then, apart from the mid-arm was Johnny Sykes, he's got Jason Crines at a shortish mid-wicket. So of course Guy Fisher isn't at cow, he's actually at deep extra for the left-hander, but there is a man at cow. That's a nice shot. Guy Fisher called into action there. Single. And there was a man at deep backward square for the left-hander who's now staying out as being deep cover. Josh Yelland, who was at cow corner, is now coming into mid-off for the right-hander to allow Ed Holdaway to go out to deep mid-wicket. Just turned around the corner, but there's that man, Connor Jones, again. Oh, it was a big shout, big shout. Big shout, a repeated shout. And Frank Forge looks rather aggrieved that that was not answered in his favour. Batsman was forward, not hugely forward, but he was forward. And now he's sweeping that one. Connor Jones will cut that off. End of the over, 25 for 3 off 11. 33 for 1 off 10 at collegiate school for Barrow seconds. So other games going on in this division, Division 4 of the Bristol and District League. Bristol Sri Lankans are playing Bristol Lions, all Sri Lankan affair there. 28 for 2 of Bristol Sri Lankans, off 7. Chilcompton are entertaining Blagden, who have been struggling this season, but Blagden 76 for 1 off 14 at the Chilcompton ground. And Uni Staff are up at Old Bees. They're 38 for 1 off 12, so fairly slow going. Oh, and Hacks hit that straight to Johnny Sykes, who makes no mistake, and he cannot believe it. He stretched, he went to hit that ball through the covers, and he picked out Johnny Sykes absolutely perfectly. He didn't have to move a muscle, and he pouched it. Well, Hack's been there a long time. 32 balls, in fact. And, well, that was amazing. 25 for 4 now. Well, everything that Connor Jones touches today has turned to gold. Easy game, isn't it, when it's your day? Good catch, brilliant run out. Comes on a bowl as first change at the Buckham Village end. Bowls, well, probably not the best ball he'll ever bowled. Just gets clonked into the extra cover. Looks for all the world like he might go for 4, and he hits it straight to Johnny Sykes. So Harry Please is the new man, doing a teapot, the striker's end, number 81. We reached for that. Well, going again, quick work this time by Ben Hodges, the keeper. They scampered through for a leg bye. That's gone as well. He's hit that straight to Ed Holdaway at cover. Oh, my goodness me. They're picking out the fielders with pinpoint accuracy. Didn't really time that. It was a relatively straightforward catch, that. 26 for 5. And Bedminster in severe trouble here at Hobbs Lane. And Timazan departs the scene. David Weston, the new batsman, number 34. And this is 26 for 5 here. Well, it's not a 26 for 5 day. It's a beautiful day. Sun is shining. No terrors in the pitch as far as we can see. But Barrow seem to have been much more alert in the field than they quite often are. And Connor Jones's fielding has just been inspirational. Seems to have brought up the whole energy of the team. Kieran Owen sliding into action to save one there. And that's a double wicket maiden for Connor Jones, putting in an early bid to be the Lilies Cider man of the match. That's not been an easy prize to win this year, with Mark Fisher bowling so incredibly well and taking 5 for on at least 3 occasions, if not 4. .47 for 1 of 12 at collegiate school. Paul Gard has now joined Ellie Holdaway. A rare opportunity to bat in the top 3 for Gardy. Not sure though he'll be smiling about that. Frank Forge to continue with the off spin. Oh, that was a good delivery as well. And Please falls to his knees there as he misses that one. Oh, he's gone for that. Oh, that was only one bounce to Johnny Sykes. And then there was nearly a run out. But Ed Holdaway nearly decapitated Frank there at the bowler's end stumps. It was a bit too high. That was quite close. It was hit in the air, albeit very low. It was only one bounce to Johnny Sykes. So David Weston going to take his first ball of spin. Bedminster in a difficult position here, because if they try to attack the slower bowler too aggressively, with already 5 down, it's quite risky. So do they attack, or do they try and milk singles where there are the gaps? And there are gaps. There is a big gap between mid-off and orthodox mid-wicket, where there's a man on the boundary. No single there, though. That's Johnny Sykes. So 2 overs for 2 runs for Frank Forge there. Just half a shout there. Ball hit the pad. Connor Jones, hands behind his head. Maybe that ball just swung at the last moment. A 50 up at collegiate school. 53 for 1 off 13. That's a wide. That's the first wide of the innings in the 14th over. So far the only extras have been leg byes. Well bowled, Connor. No run there, straight to hold away. So that's the end of that over, the 14th, 28 for 5. That's over. 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 Yeah. So a bit of a problem counting how many balls there were in that over. Of course, there were 7 with the wide. But they umpires seem to want to bowl an 8th, but that has been sorted out, and Frank Forge is going to continue. Something going on with Ben Hodges' gloves, the keeper there. Jason Crimes is helping him with something. Right, so David Weston then is on strike to Frank Forge. And that's sensible, just pushing one. Mark Fisher round quickly from deep extra cover. That was a little short, and that's pushed away. Guy Fisher parries it, but it's gone for 4. He almost got his body right behind that. Harry, please be happy with that. He'll be very pleased with that, I would imagine. Just a little on the short side. It was hit away and deep backward square. Couldn't quite get to it. This time he's driving, going for a single. Johnny Sykes pretty quick, but it's comfortable in the end. So for Weston, the deep extra cover's coming in to an orthodox position, saving 1. That was the quicker ball. Just a little wide. Oh, it's going to be quick again. This is Yelland. Oh, he fielded that very nicely. A very low, flat throw. But they got through for a single. 35 for 5 off 15. Just having a look to see whether we're having a drink at 15. No, it looks like we're having a drink at 20. It's a warm day, but it's not really ridiculously hot, and there's a pleasant, refreshing breeze blowing across the ground. Josh Yellen now going into first slip, rehearsing that last ball. This is what I did, he's saying to Ben Hodges. I picked the ball up and I flicked it low, and look at him, he's rubbing his hands there at slip. He's yeah, it was a good bit of fielding, Josh. Yeah, you're right to be pleased with yourself. Certainly put the batsman under pressure for that single. Connor Jones continuing. Not seem to lift a little. nicely played by David Weston. Players trying to encourage their skipper. That was another wide. Every now and then he just seems to lose control of the ball and it goes quite well wide. So we've still got a slip, no gully now, just a point. It's wide again. We've got a deep third man. We've got a cover point. That's Ed Holdaway, hands on hips. Johnny Sykes, who seems to be making this extra cover position his own. Guy Fisher mid-off. Jason Cryans mid-on. Mark Fisher's a short mid-wicket, creeping in. You can see him creeping in like a cat, stalking its prey. Frank Forges at square leg. That's a nice shot. Kieran Owen dives, got a hand to it, and now they're struggling to get through. I think Ed Holdaway might have thrown to the wrong end there, because there was a bit of a stop-start when the fielder got a hand to it, and well, I think Weston was more struggling in making his ground at the keeper's end, but he threw to the bowler's end. It's going to be another wide. Oh, that was a good delivery. Been a long over this. 3 wides in it so far. And in between times, and 1 or 2 really good deliveries. Another wide. So extras are mounting up. 9 out of 41 so far, extras. There's another one. So, it seemed nothing could go wrong for Connor Jones, but this over has not been one to write home about. This is his 11th delivery in this over. That's better. We got there in the end. 42 for 5 off 16. 68 for 1 off 15 at collegiate school. Here's the news of the twos. Well, Frank Forge is going to continue now. Some words of advice from Josh Yelland. Oh, no, he's some hand gestures and I'm not quite sure what Josh knows about off-spin bowling. But he's giving him some encouragement. Getting quite animated. Right, that was a full toss because the batsman came up the wicket to it, met it, but unable to get it past Kieran Owen at square leg. That was well fielded. So Kieran owns a sort of a forward square leg, and then there's a deep backward square leg, which is Guy Fisher. Now he's sliced that. There's no fielder out the deep cover boundary any longer, so that's going to go for 4. Oh, that was close. That was close. The batsman can't believe he played and missed at that. That was very close to the outside edge. It's good variation here from Frank. So he didn't time that one. Well, he reached for that. He could only play it out to Jason Cryans. And that's the over. Well, we're going to get a bonus ball. A bonus ball which didn't go for any runs, so that was only fair because that was the 7th ball of the over. So we're going to need to watch the counting here. I mean, that wasn't a difficult over because it was 6 legitimate deliveries. If you were going to miscount, the over before where we had 11 balls was the one where it was likely to go all right. But anyway, it is what it is. 46 for 5, 17 gone. Jones is going to continue. 16 overs gone at collegiate school, 77 for 1. Barrow 2s. Well, in the Test match, Ben Stokes has fallen for 54, but Joe Root's still going, 73 not out. England 193 for 6. Still 90 odd adrift of West Indies. Peter Rooney was at the Test match yesterday, he was telling me. And the French ace skipper, regular skipper, he's there today, so he's not playing in the game against our 2s. Well bowled, well played. Just like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Mentioned Lily's Cider, who sponsor the man of the match or player of the match. It's a wide. We also thank Talk Club, who sponsor the catch of the match. Butcombe Brewery, who sponsor the Butcombe Village Ends, from which Connor Jones is now bowling. Squirted away to backward point. Kieran Owen there, no run. We also thank MJ Patch & Co., long-term sponsors of the club. Capio Recruitment, sponsor our shirts. Lenovo, and of course CI Connect, who are sponsoring us in a special way for the MCC game that I mentioned later in the season. So we're looking forward to welcoming representatives of CI Connect here. And we also thank Lawton Brothers Scaffolding, who assist us by providing us with the boundary boards. Very much appreciated that is too. So a growing sponsorship family here at Hobbs Lane, and we appreciate everything those firms do to support village cricket. Village cricket as it should be, as we say on our strapline. Frank Forge to continue. And Harry Please on strike. That one's really flighted, and huge swing and a miss, and it sort of hit him. He'll hurt himself if he tries to swing that hard. Oh, he's played that on. He's played that on. It was just outside the off stump. He went to cut that down to third man, a little sort of choppy shot, a la sort of Joe Root. Bottom edge onto the stumps, and that's a wicket to spin, and that's 47 for 6 now. So 47 for 6, approaching drinks here at Hobbs Lane. A few items of equipment being lobbed beside me. Rather distressed outgoing batter. Number 30 then, the new batsman. Nazarullah Stanekzai. Again, I hope I've done justice to his name with that pronunciation. And he's all gloved up, ready, taking guard. And Frank Forge is about to bowl to him, having taken his first wicket, 1 for 13 so far. Another big appeal, and he's been given. He went for the sweep. The ball was straight. He didn't hit it, and the finger goes up. So 2 in 2 for Frank, with 1 ball left in the over. Well, what a day for Barrow Gurney. This is one of those days everything seems to have gone right so far. No, it's not over yet, as Josh, my producer, reminds me. It's 47 for 7. New bowler is Nishith Raphael. Lovely name, Raphael. Conjuring up all those images of the frescoes at the Vatican. For younger watchers, conjures up images of mutant teenage ninja turtles, I think. Wasn't Raphael one of them? Yeah. He was the pizza guy, was he? Anyway, it's a lovely name, Raphael. One of the archangels is a Raphael as well, showing my church background. Right, and he's off the mark straight away, spoiling the hat-trick. Spoiling it in fine style, 4 runs. 50 up then for Bedminster at the end of the 19th over in 73 minutes. 51 for 7. After 18 overs at collegiate school, 81 for 1. So a good start there. Ellie Holdaway's 28 not out, Paul Guard 25 not out, Bernie Forge the batter out for 16. Connor Jones is going to continue. Oh, well bowled. So the choices really for Connor Jones are quite wide-ranging. Obviously he's got 4 overs of himself left, 3 overs of Frank Forge. He could bring the openers back to try and sort of finish off this innings quickly. No run there. He's got debutant Rob Moyes, who bowls sort of left-arm medium pace. He's still got Guy Fisher, the leg spinner, to turn to if needed. And Kieran Owen, who bowls sort of lively medium pace, has been bowled quite well in recent weeks. So plenty of opportunities. Well, what's Ben Hodges doing? He's rolling around on the floor with his legs in the air. Is he stretching? He's got a bit of cramp. Now he's waving his arm about. A field change. Yellen's coming back into slip. Interesting, isn't he? Bowler wide and then you decide to have a slip. But yeah, he's rubbing his hands, ready to catch the ball, he says there. Oh, that's 4 runs. That's bisected point and cover point. So 4 runs to Weston. See a couple more spectators arriving. Maybe from Bedminster. I can't recognise them from this distance. Oh, that was very close to finding the outside edge. Oh my goodness me, was that the first drop catch of the innings? Looked like it took the edge. Ben Hodges went one-handed. It was quite wide of him. It was quite a decent edge. Not sure whether it would have carried to slip. But anyway, it wasn't taken, so it's 56 for 7 off 20 overs. The players are going to have a drink here at Hobbs Lane. And we're going to have a break too. So we'll be back with you shortly. You're watching Barrow Gurney Television. Well, welcome back to Hobbs Lane. You join us at the halfway stage of the Bedminster innings. Halfway that in terms of overs. Bedminster have really struggled here against an energised Barrow Gurney team, an unusually energised team. 56 for 7 they are. This is Raphael on strike to Frank Forge, who took 2 wickets in 2 balls in his last over. Meanwhile, we've had some new arrivals here at Hobbs Lane. We've got little collie pup Ace arrived. That's 1 bounce 4. Nice shot from Raphael there. So we have a slight delay while they hop over the fence to look for that. I think it's been found. Just need to wait for Ed Holdaway to come back now. Whilst we were at having drinks, apart from some new arrivals here, we also had news of a wicket falling at Collegiate School. Barrow 98 for 2 now. Paul Guard out for 25 there. Ellie Holdaway still going, 33 not out. Tried to tickle that round the corner, but didn't get any bat on it. Another big appeal. Almost begging the umpire to put his finger up, but couldn't persuade him on this occasion. It looked to me as if that hit him on the back leg, but other than that, from here we can't tell very much. I'm trying to nurdle that round, but Rob Moy's quickly in. So, 60 for 7. Right, so there's a change of bowling. Ed Holdaway's coming back at the Buckham Village end. So I think Connor Jones, this is Connor Jones going for the jugular, so to speak. Try and get through these 2. 60 for 7. So Connor Jones bowled his 5 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 14. Actually bowled very well. Has just lost a little bit of control, bowled a few wides in the last couple of overs. So Ed Holdaway previously bowled 5 overs, 3 maidens, 1 for 9. Well played. Oh, nicely flicked away, nicely timed. That's running away towards the net area and it's gone for 4. Beautiful timing, just flicked that away through square leg. Just went where the boundary shortens, just around the net area. Just going to bring you up to date with some other games in this division around the grounds. Bristol Sri Lankans 95 for 2. That's off 16 in the Sri Lankan derby against Bristol Lions. Blagdon 162 for 1 off 25 at Chilcompton. Well, that represents a marked improvement on their recent form. Unistaff 84 for 1 off 25. They're playing Old Bees. That's the end of the over. 64 for 7 off 22. Looks like they're taking drinks at collegiate school. Frank Forge is going to continue here. This is his 7th over. Tempting the batsman. Well, that's cut away, but straight to Jason Cryans. Oh, another bottom edge. Another bottom edge. Raphael looking at his bat there in disbelief. What have you done to me? He says. But he got away with it. Got a single. Well flighted again. Oh, that was a full toss, and that's been dispatched for 4. It was a shame. That was a really good over until that point. So 69 for 7, 23 gone. 2 for 26 now for Forge. Doing a double teapot there. He's got one more to bowl if skipper wants it. More spectators have arrived. I think that might be Connor Jones's dad and sister have arrived, and well, they've missed all the action. They've missed all the action. He's had a fantastic time of things in the field and taking 2 wickets, but they've arrived rather late. Maybe they watched it on Barrow Gurney television and thought it was a good time to come up. Nicely flicked away. There's going to be another run out. Mark Fisher. Well, he wasn't even in the picture. He was gone. Raphael was done like a kipper, as they say. He was halfway up the wicket, but Weston was never moved really. Never showed any interest in that run, and that's 69 for 8. Well, Barrow's ground fielding has been spectacularly good, with only the drop catch from Ben Hodges, which wasn't an easy one. Everything else has been taken. There's been some good ground fielding, good throwing in. Although Mark Fisher had lots of time, he still had to gather the ball, throw it in over the wicket, and to be taken by Ben Hodges, and it was all done very nicely. So the new batsman is a left-hander, Alex Bindloss. Guy Fisher's limbering up there, doing some sort of chicken impressions at mid-on. Flicked away. It's going down towards the boundary. Rob Moy's in pursuit, but he's not going to get round. Once the ball hits that slope, also beaten Kieran Owen at short backward square. Well, not that short, orthodox backward square. He really had no chance. It fizzed away. So our dune buggy's back. Must have had their lunch now. Back for another few laps of the field, peeping their horns enthusiastically. Not quite sure why they bother peeping those. I don't think they're trying to warn. It's just really just being noisy, isn't it? But never mind, they're enjoying themselves. When they're a bit older, perhaps we'll get them to watch the cricket. Now, Mark Fisher's also limbering up, so we could be having a full Fisher attack soon. 24 overs gone, 73 for 8 here. Frank Forge is going to bowl his last over. And then I think it could be Guy Fisher or maybe Mark Fisher to replace him. This is Weston on strike. Oh, well flighted and well watched. Yeah, I think that is Connor Jones's dad, because Connor Jones is now down there on the deep mid-wicket boundary talking to them by the flagpole, by the telegraph pole. And he's called into action once more. Single down there to him. And that's a full toss, just help round the corner. But Rob Moyes did very, very well there. Help being left-handed, he just stuck down that left hand and stopped it. Looked to me as though that was going to be a certain boundary. No run there. So one more delivery completes this spell from Frank Forge, which he does with a dot. 8 overs, no maidens, 2 for 27 for Frank. Good afternoon's work. Gets a low 5 from Connor Jones, a sort of a medium 5 from Josh Yelland and Ben Hodges. And welcome back to the first team after being dropped last week into the twos. So Ed Holdaway rather will bowl his final over, his 8th. He'll bowl to Weston. Oh, well bowled. Certainly Barrow are not letting Bedminster off the hook here. Oh, that's squeezed off an edge. It's only going to be a single down to Rob Moyes at deep third. So David Weston is comfortably top scorer in this innings with 17 not out at the moment. It's been a card of devastation until he came in. Nice looking drive, didn't quite time it. No run there. Jones cutting off any chance of a single again. He seems to be everywhere. It seems as though everywhere you look, wherever the ball's hit, it seems to be Connor Jones on the end of it. Well, that's flipped away nicely, and Kieran Owen sort of fluffed that really and went through him. That's gone all the way for 4. And that's the end of Ed Holdaway's spell. 8 overs, 3 maidens, 1 for 22. So he's done. Frank Forge is done. So it's going to be Mark Fisher. Yes, handing his cap to brother Guy. It's going to be Mark Fisher to come back at the rod's viewpoint end, or is it? Yes, it is. Some discussion between him and his brother. Captain's having a separate discussion with Josh Yelland and Johnny Sykes, but it looks as if discussion is about whether Yelland's going to go into slip or not. I think the answer is he is, or at least he's going to go into... No, he's going into point. So things are getting really noisy here with lots of hootings of horns and squealing from the dune buggies. Big smell of petrol coming across the ground. Mark Fisher starts his second spell. 5 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 12 in his first. David Weston's on strike. At collegiate school, the 2s are 101 now for 2. Off 22 there. Well hit, but straight to Connor Jones again. As I say, every time the ball's hit, it just seems to go to him. He's fielded in almost every position today. It's almost as if he predicts where the ball's going to go and stations himself there. Been very effective, mind. Mark Fisher then. And played that late. Did well. But Jason Cryans was on that one. stopping any chance of a single. Well, he went for the cut shot there, but no contact made. So that's a maiden for Mark Fisher. And what's going to happen now at the Buckham Village end? It is going to be Brother Guy now with bowling his leg spin. And he'll be bowling to the left-handed Bindloss. 79 for 8. 27 gone now. Oh, that's come off thickish edge. It's run away for 4. That's double figures for Bindloss, which in the context of this innings is quite a milestone. He's only the 5th player to make the double figures. Oh, that's beat him. That's beat him. A very suspicious look at the pitch after that from the batsman. Frank Forger's now gone into short extra cover. That was it, firmly past him. But brilliantly stopped by Jason Cryan's diving stop. Prevented the boundary. They come back for a second. That's also gone past Frank Forge, and as this time it's gone for 4. He's crossed it, so he tried to get a hand on that, but it was hit very crisply. So an expensive over there, 10 off it. 89 for 8. Bedminster off 28. So 12 overs to go if this innings was to run its course. Guy Fisher can bowl 6 of them from the Buckham Village end, if the captain so chooses. Well, Fisher has 2 more from this end, which will leave him 4 to find. He himself has got 3. He'd then need to find 1 more. Meanwhile, Ellie Holdaway has ended her mammoth innings at collegiate school. Been there since the start. 66 balls. Been there for an hour and a half and 45. So it's 113 for 3 there, and Fergus Skinner has now joined Phil Milton. So they'll be looking for a bit of acceleration over the last 16 overs. Oh, nicely fielded. Head held away, and Frank Forge was almost a collision between the two of them as they competed with each other to dive and stop that ball, but between them they managed to. There was no run. That's swatted through the onside. Now there's no deep mid-wicket anymore. Connor Jones, even he couldn't chase that one down with his pace. He got pretty close, I have to say. He did pretty well. So Weston into the 20s now. Begin to wonder why he's batting at number 7 or 8. So the 29th over ticks by, 93 for 8. Fisher 1 for 16 off 7. So he'll definitely have one more. Poor old Rob Moyes, he's come into the team this week. One of our Barrow's sort of irregular players come in because of a shortage in the squad, and to balance the side, he brought into the first team for his debut. He's covered some ground going from one end to the other fielding. Fielded well though, done all that's been asked of him. So now 2 short fielders on the offside. So of course inevitably it was going to be bowled on the leg stump, and it's been hit away for 4. It's a bit ambitious bowling to a short extra and a short cover point. But anyway, it must have put some doubt in the batsman's mind because he's clean bowled him. So I think it was a case of trying to get into the batsman's head rather than actually expecting a catch there. And if that was the case, then that was a spectacular success. Well bowled. So 9 wickets down for 97. Bedminster on the cusp of a batting point. Barrow on the cusp of 5 bowling points. And this is Jack Filer, number 55. Well, Bedminster struggled from the word go in this innings. Literally the very first ball of the innings, Irfan was caught behind by Ben Hodges off Mark Fisher for no score. Brook was then amazingly run out by Connor Jones with the most fantastic piece of work. So we're being joined by Barrow legend Gordon Ladd. Nice to see him eating an apple. walking past the score box, looking happy with life. So Filer's another left-hander. So after that brilliant run out, one-handed pick up and throw from Connor Jones, Ed Holdaway got the wicket of Chris McCormack. Again, Connor Jones in the action, taking a good catch at extra cover. Hack, well, he batted nicely for his 10, but he was caught by Johnny Sykes when he picked him out perfectly in the covers with a hard hit shot. This is going to be a single down to backward square leg. That's all there be. That's the end of the over. .98 for 9. So then, having had enough of instigating a couple of wickets in the field, Connor Jones decided to bring himself on and proceeded to take 2 wickets in an over, dismissing Tim Ozan and Mr. Hack, who'd been there since the start, as I say, with that hit through the covers. Then it was the turn of spin, and Frank Forge was bowled nicely. Took a little time before he had a success, but when he did, he took 2 in 2 balls, which then brought David Weston to the crease, and batting at 7, he's still there, not out 21, and has played very nicely. Another run out, saw for Raphael, Mark Fisher doing some good work, and then, as we saw in the last over, Guy Fisher turning one through the defences of Alex Bindloss to clean bowl him. So, all in all, a tale of woe here for Bedminster. Mark Fisher back to bowl his last over. Hits Filer on the pad, but there's going to be a single leg by, I think. Yep, there we are. Quite a minimalist sort of signal there. So the scorecard: Irfan, no score. Hark, 10. Brook, 12. McCormack, no score. Ozan, no score. Please, 11. No score. Raphael, 9. Bindloss for a well-made 22. They're going for a quick single. They're going to get more than that because the ball's running away down the hill. Kieran Owen does well to stop it, but they're going to come back for 3, are they? Well, there was 3 there, I think, but they settle for 2, and that brings up the 100 for Bedminster. It looked a long way away at one point, 47 for 7, but they've got there in 115 minutes in the 31st over. Josh over that, and Frank Forge clears up. Last ball of Fisher's spell coming up. He'll be a little bit disappointed that amongst all this carnage he's only taken the 1 wicket. So he finishes with 8 overs, 3 maidens, 1 for 18. Ed Holdaway's 8 overs, 3 maidens, 1 for 22. Frank Forge, 8 overs, no maidens, 2 for 27. Connor Jones, 5 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 14. And Guy Fisher so far, 2 overs, 1 for 15. So it'll be Guy Fisher again from the Buckham Village end. And we wait and see Who'll replace Mark Fisher? Oh, that's a nice shot. Nicely timed, but straight back at the bowler. So we've got a leg slip now for Guy. Must be extracting a bit of turn. Johnny Sykes. Well, they're claiming a catch there, but I'm not sure the batsman thinks he's out. I think he might think it was a bump ball, but he's sort of half thinking of staying, half thinking of going. Ultimately has decided to go, and that is the end of the innings. So Filer was caught and bowled Guy Fisher. And the innings ends at 101 all out of 31.3 overs. So we'll wait and see what Barrow make of it in their innings, but certainly they've taken the honours of that innings. Some good bowling, some excellent fielding, some good catching, and a good all-round team performance. So well done to them. News from the twos is after 26 overs, it's 133 for 3. Phil Milton's getting into his stride there. He's now 23 not out, so they'll be hoping to pile on a few more runs before the innings ends there. News of that after the break, because the players are going to take a bit of refreshment and have a cup of tea and a bite to eat. And so are we. You're watching Barrow Gurney television. We'll be back with you at the end of the innings break. So welcome back to Hobbs Lane, where you join us for Barrow Gurney's reply to the Bedminster total of 101 all out. Opening the batting for Barrow Gurney is Guy Fisher with his familiar luminous hat, and at the non-striker's end Ed Holdaway, and this is Nasrullah Stanikzai, and that's a good start. Whilst we get going, I'll bring you news of the twos who are playing at Colston Collegiate School. 192 for 4 they are there. Phil Milton's out since I last updated you for 27. Fergus Skinner's now on 42. Not out, another good knock from him. And Lyndon Always with him on 13. Got a bit of pace, Stanikzai. Fairly brisk coming in from the rod's viewpoint end. So squeezed away for a single, first run of the innings to Guy Fisher. Just hold away down to take his guard. I've got an ice cream now to cool me down. First extra of the innings, a wide. So 2 for no wicket off the first over. Needing another 100 exactly to win. Alex Bindlos is going to open the bowling at the Buckham Village end. Looks like he's left arm over. And he's going to start with a slip and a fine-ish gully. To the field in full, slip, a finish gully, a point, a cover point, an extra cover, mid off, mid on, mid-wicket. And the man at deep fine leg on the boundary. And Fisher jumps up the wicket in the hope of a single, but sent back. No run. So 2 for no wicket off 2. Plenty of time to get these runs. The run rate is only 2.63. Oh, that's a lovely shot from Ed Holdaway. Stood up to his full height and drove that so hard it's knocked one of the pickets off the picket fence. Lovely shot. Oh, and that's guided down to third man, who juggles it but saves the boundary. Bit of an uppercut there. Did well, Guy Fisher. That was sharpish delivery, short, and just sort of uppercutted away. Missed the man at third man. It ended up hitting the near the tractor shed. I have to say that Nasrullah stunning side. I mean, he's one of those bowlers that gets his pace from his run up. I mean, he runs in like an Olympic sprinter, runs in like the wind, and really puts all that pace into his action. There are some bowlers who just lollop up and it's all shoulder and body action. He gets it from his run up. That's short, down the leg side, well taken, but it's a wide. got one, I'm thinking of two. But no, it was well fielded. Bindloss down there with a left-handed throw. Oh, that's bowled him. That's bowled him. Bindloss got one through the defence of Guy Fisher. Quite sharp and straight. And, well, that's a good start for Bedminster. They're defending a very low total. Guy Fisher bowled for 6. Johnny Sykes retrieving the bails from behind where the wicketkeeper was standing. Jason Cryans, formerly an opening batter for Barrow, prefers to bat down the order. He's next man in. Playing against his former club. Joined us from Bedminster 3 years ago now, and made a real impression on the first team in Barrow Gurney. Though this year he's been a bit short of runs. He's made several good starts, but not really gone on to a biggish score or a match-winning score. But what's required today is longevity at the crease rather than quick scoring. 35 overs gone in the twos game at Colston Collegiate. They're 222 now for 4. Fergus Skinner's made his 50 there. In fact, he's 60 not out. Lyndon Allway 22 not out, keeping him company. Here's Bindloss again. Well bowled, nicely played off his hip by Jason Crine. It's just going to be a single. It's gone down to fine leg. I think there was some bat involved in that. I don't think it was just off the hip. Jones unmoved. Was a single. So news around Division 4. Sri Lankans 174 for 6 off 33 against the Lions. It's tea at Jill Compton, where Blagden made a very impressive 270 for 7 off their 40 overs. End of the over here, 16 for 1 off 4. Uni Staff 214 for 7 off their 40 overs against Old Bristolians Westbury. Stanic's eye again. Oh, that's a flashing edge. That really could have gone anywhere, but where it has gone is to the picket fence at third man for 4. In the test match, Joe Root fell for 87. Jamie Smith still there, 57 not out with Chris Wokes. And they're closing now on the West Indies total, 274 for 7. Oh, that was through him as well. This is some really quite sharp bowling from Stanic's eye. That's a nice shot through the covers. It's not going to go for 4, is it? No, it stopped just on that little upslope before the square boundary on the pavilion side of the ground. It's very impressive bowling, this. I think he might have been leaving that. He has a habit of sort of hiding the bat behind the pads when he leaves the ball, head hold away. So just back to the twos game, 230 now for 4, with 4 overs to go there. So the maximum batting points, and batting points and bowling points really important for Barrow there today, because I shall tell you why in a moment as Stanic's eye comes in, and head holder has another sort of wild swing, for want of a better word, at that, and misses. 22 for 1. So the second place team, Golden Hill Sixths, who Barrow beat last week, they're only 18 points behind for the leaders, which is Barrow Gurney in Division 9 West. They got a walkover this week when Nailsey's seconds were unable to get a team together, so the likelihood is they will get 20 points there. So if that is the case, then that puts Barrow -2 to them. So a win with maximum points would keep the status quo of 18 points. Single there to Cryans. And Nailsey too are Barrow seconds opponents next week. Be interesting to see if that goes ahead. It's a peak holiday time, of course, this time of year, and puts a strain on the resources of the smaller clubs. Right, we've got 2 slips in a gully now for bin loss. Nicely played by Holdaway. Straight to backward point though. So we've got 4 men backward of square on the offside. We've got 2 slips, a finish gully, or a sort of 5th slip, and a backward point. An orthodox cover, an extra cover, and a mid-off. On the onside, mid-on. And deep fine leg. Mid-on's quite wide. Oh, there's a bit of a misfield at cover point there, and that might well go for 4. It has. It was nicely hit to the left hand of cover point. Bounce didn't go well for him, but he would have hoped to have got more on it than he did, but the ball ran through him and fizzled down the hill for 4. End of the over. 27 for 1 off 6. 75 still needed. That might be Jason Cryan's first look at Stanek Sky. Beautiful pull shot there from Jason Cryans. Cracked away for 4 into the opening towards the car park. That was a curious looking shot from Jason Cryans. He almost swung himself off his feet there. Didn't make any contact. So the end of the over, 32 for 1 of 7. £2.49 for 4 at collegiate school. Barrow second 11 playing French A fifths there. Fergus Skinner's on to 67 not out. Lyndon Allway 41. So those two have put on 102 for the 5th wicket. Oh, that's in the air, but it's cleared extra cover. And cover is also chasing it, but both of them are going to lose to the ball and the slope. Just runs away down there to the other opening to the car park. Oh, that's a lovely shot off the back foot. Rock back, punched it through. Extra cover. Just wide of extra cover for 4. So Barrow already 40 now for 1. Beautiful afternoon here at Hobbs Lane. Nice breeze blowing across the ground. That's a lovely shot too. Full, cover driven. Thing of beauty that. Plays that shot so well. Oh, and he's pulled that away as well. Is that going to be 4 more? Yes, it is. That's down to the picket fence. A late signal from umpire Jones there. That's 48 for 1 off 8. And Ed held away very quickly on to 32. Right, we've got a bowling change here. So this is Mr. Raphael. Nishith Raphael. And he's warming up, bowling a few practice deliveries. He's going to be bowling to Jason Cryans. Starts with a wide. Lyndon always made his 50 at collegiate school. 2.59 for 4 off 38 there. Oh, it's down the line side, but that's beaten the keeper. And it's also beaten the despairing fielder down on at the deep fine leg boundary. I think I saw that hit the picket fence. Four, four leg buys. Umpire Sykes hopping up and down there, making a bit of a performance out of that. But that's four leg buys. 50 up for Barrow in the 9th over, 29 minutes. And it's a sort of Bon Jovi time. We're halfway there, as they say. Oh, full toss. Disdainfully dispatched, and with some power, down to the boundary by Jason Cryers. The way these two are going, yes, early tea, says my producer Josh. Well, we've had tea actually, so it could be early G&T time. Obviously, that won't affect you because you don't drink, but gin. There's something quite civilised about a gin and tonic at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, that's a big hit. That's gone for 6 into the field where our young friends were dune buggying earlier. Unfortunately, they've gone, so I don't think they're going to be hit by that. But what a clean hit that was. Yeah, the ball's been found. 63 for 1. Well, Barrow not really hanging around here. That's nicely played off his legs. What a classy on drive that was. Played with a slight flick of the wrist. Looks in good touch here. We've got some very sort of thumping music, bass beat sound. I don't know whether is that coming from near here or is that coming from Thunderworld or whatever. It's quite annoying, isn't it? But, oh, that's short, and that got what it deserved. 4 runs. Yeah, that was an expensive over. $18 from it. Well, 19 from it. And that was just the runs off the bat. Right, we've got another new bowler. And this is Hack going to bowl. Replacing Alex Spindloss. We had 4 overs, 1 made and 1 for 23, and in the great scheme of things, didn't bowl that badly. So, Hack to hold away. Oh, lovely shot. What a classy shot that is. Beautiful. He's looking in super touch. Played beautifully in the midweek league in the dark. A beautiful half century there brought Barrow to the brink of an unlikely victory. And, well, today he's bowling beautifully. The innings is closed at Frenchy, or Colston Collegiate, where Frenchy Fifths are playing today. That's 4 as well for Holdaway. Just rocked back, chopped that more than punched it through the covers. He goes on to 40. So the final score for Barrow 2 is 266 for 4 there. So maximum batting points. And a good prospect of a win there. Could be a double victory weekend for the Barrow teams. Oh, that's short. That's a goodbye. That's hit the top of the netting and landed just almost on top of Gordon Ladd, who sat right by the net. Fortunately, it didn't hit him. It hit the top of the net, but that's gone, I think. No, they're here. Make sure you bring them back. That's got some writing on, but it's not the right type of ball. Yeah, well, we don't want to lose that. Oh, let them carry on with that one. Well, we've got sorting through the spares here in the commentary box. We have to do everything here, don't we, Josh? Meanwhile, the spare ball has gone the way of the previous one, except only for 4 down to the boundary. And that's Ed Holdaway's 50. Off 26 balls with 10 fours and 1 6. My word, that was impressive. That was impressive. Well, it's 89 for 1 here, and I think that there's not much long left in this game. So I think it's about time that I started a bit of a summary of the game, seeing as we could have to sign off in a relative hurry the way Ed Holdaway's batting. Pinned him on the back foot, but it was quite high. So that's 89 for 1 off 10 then. So Bedminster won the toss here at Hobbs Lane in this Division 4 clash between Bedminster 3s and Barrow Gurney First 11, who lie in 4th and 3rd place respectively in Division 4 of the Bristol and District League. A wicket fell with the very first ball of Bedminster's innings when Irfan nicked off to Mark Fisher, who's been the top wicket taker in the whole B&D this year. So after that early loss, probably the key moment of the whole innings was a brilliant run out by Connor Jones, who picked the ball up one-handed and threw down the stumps from fielding an extra cover to dismiss Wilf Brook for 12. He then promptly took a catch at extra cover, as the ball seemed to be following him everywhere in the field, and as we know, he's a brilliant fielder. Then he came on to bowl and took 2 wickets in his first over. Swing and a miss. And then Connor Jones turned to spin at one end, and Frank Forge also struck twice in 2 balls to dismiss the middle order. And at 47 for 5, sorry, 47 for 7 actually. "47 for 5, Bedminster were really under the cosh, and it took some good batting from David Weston, finished 23 not out, and particularly in partnership with Alex Bindloss, who made 22, to get the score up to 101, which was never really likely to be enough on a beautiful sunny day on a good batting track here at Barrow Gurney. Quick single there for Jason Cryans. Barrow's bowling figures: Mark Fisher 8 overs 3 maidens 1 for 18, Ed Holdaway 8 overs 3 maidens 1 for 22, Frank Forge 8 overs no maidens 2 for 27, Connor Jones 5 overs 1 maiden 2 for 14, and Guy Fisher, who took the last wicket with a diving caught and bowled, a really good catch. Oh, that's flicked away down to the. Is that going to go all the way to the boundary? No, it's been stopped very well by Bindloss. Still 2 runs to Ed Holdaway. Yes, a Guy Fisher taking the last wicket with a diving forward caught and bowled, so he had 2 for 15, having previously bowled Bindloss through the gate with one that turned. 2 for 15 of 2.3 overs, and so that was it. 101 all out for Bedminster at tea. No run there. So 101, of which 13 were extras. As I say, Bindloss is 22 and Weston's 23 not out. There were 4 ducks on the card. So Harry Please coming on to see if he can work some magic at the end of this game. 93 for 1, there's only 9 needed for Barrow Gurney. Jason Cryans is going to take up strike. So 101 all out. Barrow Gurney then started their reply with Guy Fisher and Ed Holdaway. Oh, that's short, and that's gone. Oh my goodness, that's a big 6. It's landed on top of the covers. 99 for 1 now. So Barrow lost Fisher for only 6 to a good ball from Alex Bindloss, who bowled with some pace. There was a good pace too at the other end from Staniksai, who bowled very briskly, but to no avail. And there's Jason Cryans hitting the winning runs as the ball runs away for 4, and it's thank you very much, Bedminster. Thank you for coming, and well, I'm sure they will have many better days than this. I mean, they're a much better side than this, there's no doubt about that. But Barrow Gurney were energised in the field. They were on it from the word go. Some brilliant fielding, some brilliant catching, some good accurate bowling in the most part, both spin and pace bowling. And in reply, Ed Holdaway 52 not out and Jason Cryans 25 not out. They were not going to allow this target, this low target, to worry them, and they were not going to allow the opportunity for too many early wickets. And they punished 1 or 2 shorter deliveries, and well, they batted absolutely brilliantly. So the team shake hands. It only remains for me really to say what a great win that was. That's only going to keep Barrow in 3rd place in Division 4. It looks like Barrow 2s are in a commanding position at Colston Collegiate against French 5th, but we're going to have to wait a long time to find out the result there, because their innings, the second innings, hasn't even started. French's innings hasn't even started there. well, this game has been completed. So let's hope for good things from there and a good result. And it's a good weekend all round for Barrow Gurney. So thank you for listening and watching, if you have been. Or even indeed if you've been watching this on catch up and trying to pick out your edited highlights. I thanked Josh Hall, my producer, for being with me and doing all the techie stuff. And you've been listening to Barrow Gurney Television. I'm Mark Forge, and hopefully be speaking to you again next week when the First 11 entertain Winterbourne, which is a game which Barrow would be certainly expecting and hoping to win. To go to Nailsy seconds. So time for me then to sign off. Wish you all the best, and we're off on cricket tour now. So if we survive that, we'll see you next week. From me, bye for now.